Hello everybody, Justin with Fuel and Firepower. Today we're back out here with Crosman Vapormax. Now, since you've seen it last, I did install a scope on it. This is actually the Crosman scope that came off my Vantage Plus that I had taken off. I decided to put it on here. That'll come in a later video why, but I figured since we're going to be doing some testing today, it'd be good to have a scope on it for accuracy. So today we're going to be doing the full review. I've got a lot of shots downrange with this thing, and it's time to really test it. So first thing we're going to do the trigger pull. Then we're going to move on to velocity. And then we're going to move to accuracy. So I've already shot the velocity test. I tested out 22 different pellets. I tested each one 9 times. 3 at 2 pumps, 3 at 5 pumps, 3 at 10 pumps. It took me almost 2 hours to finish it all. I recorded it every bit. I started editing it for a video, and it was just so boring and monotonous. I was like, I don't want to watch this. I don't know why anybody else would. Okay? So I'm going to save you all from that, and I'm just going to show you what I came up with. I'm going to go ahead and show you the pellets now that we used. Alright guys, so here's our pellets. So we've got all the Crosmans up here. We got the fast flights, hollow points, pointed, and wad cutters. We've got our Gammo line here. We've got the Raptors. I'm not doing the Platinums because they're real close together. Magnums, Tomahawks, Lethals, and Master Point. Down here we got these Senka. These are a dome pellet, and these are by far the heaviest. They're a 16.1 grain. So a very heavy pellet. Then we got the Olympia matching dome. We got the Meister Cougans. We got the Daisy and flat nose, hollow point, and pointing. We got the JSB. Hard to see that lettering on there. But these are the matched Diablos. Now that is a alloy pellet. We've got the H&N match greens. And then we've got this here. So this has 6 different pellets in it. They're the sampler pack from H&N. Hornet, Cro-Magnum Barracuda Power, Barracuda Hunter Extreme, Field Target Trophy, and Field Target Trophy Green. Now, I have some of these in the house as well that I used in the world's fastest pellet. They're an alloy pellet. Alright, so very wide array of pellets, all different weights, different sizes, different shapes, different material. We went through all that. We also went ahead and did the trigger pull. So we'll start out the video showing you that, and then we'll get in here and show you that. So before we get started in our test today, I did want to dedicate a song that I wrote. It's from the heart, and it goes out to all the people that comment on all of our videos. You know who all we are. That talks about, or asking, did you clean it before you shot it? You know, you got to run patches through it. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. For the people that say all that, listen. This is for you, okay? Give me 1 sec. Here we go. More of a visual song, ain't much of a singer. Now back to the video. Alright guys, I'm leaving on the hat. Alright, just how to deal with it. Alright guys, like I said, I've already done the trigger pull, so I'm gonna go ahead and add it now in the video. Alright, so from what I've seen online, this one, you do not have to pump to trigger pull. All you have to do, lock the bolt, and you're good to go. Alright, so let's check the first one here. I go good and smooth. 5 pounds, 0.03 ounces. Second trigger pull. 4 pounds, 5.7 ounces. That's what I felt like it was. I felt like it was under 5 pounds. And we're going to do last one here. 4 pounds, 7.9 ounces. And you can see down there at the bottom, the average is 4 pounds at 11 ounces. So just under 5 pounds on the trigger pull, which is kind of where I thought it was going to be. So it's not bad for a factory trigger. Alright, so now we've got a trigger pull out of the way. And we're going to talk about velocity. So I've taken a picture of all this, and I'm going to post it up on the screen as we go along. So In the first graph here, we used 4 different type of Crosman pellets. We used the fast flights, hollow points, pointed, and wad cutters, okay? So the only one that even got close to advertised feet per second are the fast flights, and that was at 10 pumps on my very first pump. Everything else is pretty low considering what it calls for. If you're looking at the chart there, so we did 3 pulls each at 2, 5, and 10, and then I wrote the average in red on all these. Mine might be a little low. From what I saw from watching off-the-shelf air guns and nibs over at Walnut and Steel, mine does seem low. Now, like I said, I'm in the Appalachian Mountain in Kentucky. You know, I sit on top of a mountain myself. You know, I'm one of the highest points around. So our elevation does affect it. Also, it was pretty muggy that morning I was doing it. That also does affect it. So like you can see, like we got the Crosman fast flights, hollow points, pointed, and wad cutters, and you can see them there. We moved down and we had quite a few gamos. It looks like we had 5 gamos. Different, the Raptors. I didn't try the Platinums because they're basically the same as the Raptors, so I didn't do anything there. I just tried the Raptors and all those. The fastest ones out of those looks like it was the Raptors, and they averaged at about 973. And I'm not saying that's not fast, guys. That is fast, but it's not advertised. There's your gamos and your Crosmans. So we move over to the next page. So these Senecas are the heaviest pellet I could find for a 177 cal. So they're 16.1 grain. You can see how low they were, but I mean, they are heavy. That's to be expected, you know. Then we got the Olympias. They come in at high 900s, just under 1,000 feet per second. We got our Meister Cougans, the old trusty Meister Cougans, they have 848. We had 3 different daisies that actually came in the dial pellet ones, and we tried all those, and they did all finish real super close to the same speed. Obviously, the fastest one was the flat nose. Well, that ain't obvious. That's unobvious. I figured the pointed would be the fastest, but 872 it looks like on the flat nose. Now, something you can see here, if you pause and look through these numbers, because I'm not going to go through them all super slow, okay, not one by one. There's some huge deviations in some of these. I made sure I did the correct pumps the first try because I didn't want to pump this thing any more than I had to, okay? Like, I'm not putting all that video out online to bore you to death. Just trust me there. Let's go to the third page. This is the last page. This is where I did all the H&Ns I had. I had 7 of them. 6 of them came in that little sampler pack, and then I had the other match greens that I had from the World's Fastest Pellet series. So, not too bad. The highest one there, you're looking at, what, 968, and it was the match green, which is the lightest one of the H&Ns. It's the actual alloy pellet. And then the Field Target Trophy Green, which is actually the alloy pellet as well, hit 962. And the rest of them was kind of all over the place. 800, 700. I think for everyday shooting, most people are only going to hit the like 800 mark at full 10 pumps. Most of us are out here in these style rifles shooting the Crosmans. Premier, either you're shooting the hollow points or pointed, you got the destroyers, you got the domed. They're going to pick up this rifle, going to grab a thing of pellets from the Walmarts or Tractor Supply, and we're going to go home and we're going to plink with it. If you're going to look for what you think you're going to get out of this, if you're just buying it off the shelf, I would say figure about mid 800s is what you're going to get with 10 pumps. Around low 700, right at 700 range for the 5 pumps. If I'm going to guess at the 4 pumps, high 4s. Okay, that is realistic numbers that should be advertised to you. 100%. This thing should be rated at 850, 700, about 480. All right, that's where it should be at 2, 5, and 10, 480, 700, 850. Those are realistic numbers. There you go. That's the velocity test. Like I said, I had 2 hours of investing in that thing, running 2 cameras, and I was absolutely killed when I was done. I went and tried to edit it. I could not edit it. It was boring. I was trying to edit it down and make it go kind of quick. I was 15 minutes into a video and didn't really have any substance to it. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it to you guys. I wouldn't watch it. And if I won't watch it, I'm not expecting you guys to watch it. Okay? So, you've seen the trigger pull. You've seen the velocity. And now we're going to do accuracy. That's what I'm concerned about today. I'm going to go ahead and set me a target up. We're going to do 25 yards. I'm going to do 3 different pellets. All right, guys. So we're going to do the accuracy test. I'm going to use 3 different pellets, and here's what I've came up with. I'm going to use the Crosman hollow points in a 7.9 grain. I'm going to use the Gammo tomahawks in a 7.56 grain. And the Meister Cougans in an 8.2. So that kind of gives me a flat nose, a hollow point, and then these, which is, you know, kind of a different style. We're going to do 5 shots each. I need to get set up and do a couple siders with this guy. And then after I get it sighted in, I'll get back with you. All right, guys. So I've got it sighted in. Close. Not exact, but it seemed like it was doing pretty well where I've got it. So I'm happy with it for now. I'm going to shoot a 5-shot group, and we're going to start out with these tomahawks. We're going to shoot a 5-shot group. We're doing 5 pumps each only. Seemed like it was good and accurate there, or consistent, I say. So we're going to be shooting top left at this one. So not too bad. I will say that one I did pull high on. That's my fault. I'm actually kind of impressed with those. So next, Crosman hollow points. We'll load up 5, taking 5 shots. 25 yards. We're going to do top right on this one. That was a better group, I think, than what I did with the tomahawks there. So I'm not really upset at either one of those. Like I said, this is 25 yards, guys. So these are going to be the heaviest of the bunch at 8.2 grains. So they're a tad bit slower. Did I even show these to you? I don't think I showed them to you. Can't act like that. This is like a professional channel. This ain't a professional channel, guys. I'm just a dude out here having fun. I'm trying to show you guys a few things, so if you want one of these, you can be like, hey, that guy seems to do all right with it. Maybe I should go get one. Because if I can shoot it this well, you guys can. All right, I'm just going to tell you. All right, so this time we're going at the center with Meister Cougans. So I'm talking about right there. God, I want to be mad at this rifle sometimes, and then you shoot it and it does that good. All right, so let's go down there and get that. We'll bring it back up here and we'll talk about it. Well, yeehaw, guys. Jeez. Couldn't wear the hat while shooting. It gets in the way of the scope. Anyway, I actually do wear this thing out and about. I didn't just do it for this video, all right? And I've never watched a single episode of Yellowstone. Get that out of your head. Boys, I'm from Kentucky. I showed horses, all right? Anyway, so let's talk about it. Boom. I tried to blame this on me, but it looks like I put 2 through up there. So I didn't pull, or I pulled twice. Whatever you want to say. But it's not a bad group, though. 25 yards. I'm telling you, 25 yards for an air rifle, especially a pumper, that's a pretty good distance. The Crosman hollow points, not bad at all either. If you take that, I bet a quarter would cover it. Pretty easy. But then you got the old Meister Cougans, boys. Look at that. That is one hole. Let me get you up there so you can see. That's just one hole for 5 shots. How can you complain about that? What do we think? Let's talk about this rifle. I've got your pros and cons laid out here, okay? Let's go over pros first. I like to be optimistic about anything. I try to give every rifle every chance it can. If you don't believe me, go back and watch my Crosman Vantage Plus videos. Jesus, Lord have mercy. I tried to love that. I tried to like it. I just wanted a little bit. I just wanted a little bit. Just, it wouldn't give me nothing. That being said, let's get into this Crosman. Pros, good trigger. Nothing to complain about there. 4 pound, 11 ounces, so under 5 pounds. I'm not mad at that. It's lighter than a lot of the air rifles I got, or at least right on par. Okay, can't say anything bad about that. The stock, I don't mind the stock at all. The pumping mechanism, I like the pumping mechanism. It reminds me of the Barra 1866, which is excellent. Fiber optic sights are actually nice. I do like those. This mag system, it works really well. Now, I did have some pellets it did not like. When I was doing the velocity test, this mag got stuck in there 2 or 3 times. I had to take a knife back here and pry out and pull out because it would just smash a pellet. Pros is the mag system. Con is the mag system sometimes. Another pro, she's pretty accurate, guys. She is an accurate rifle. It does have plenty of velocity. If I didn't know that it was rated at 1100 feet per second, you know, I wouldn't be mad at only hitting 800 or 900. But you advertise 1100, I expect to see 1100 or at least close to. I don't get there, that's on you. I feel like it's false advertising. It is what it is. Another con is pumping this thing up past 5. Not a good time. Don't recommend. It's not worth it. It's not. To get the extra feet per second that you're hoping to get, it ain't worth it to me. 5 pumps is plenty on this thing. It's accurate at 5. It hits hard at 5. There's plenty of velocity there. Stay at 5. If you just want to do 10, go ahead. You ain't going to do it all day. I promise. 2 hours straight. I hated every second of it. All right, guys. So we talked about some pros: accuracy, trigger pull, mag system, sights. We talked about the cons, which is pumping past 5. The mag system sometimes, when it fails to feed and then crushes the pellet, and you got to jam a pocket knife in there and wiggle it around to get it out. That's no fun. And the false claims of 1100 feet per second. I hope that I've gave you an honest enough review on this thing with the pros and cons that you can make up your own mind on it. I do not try to make up your mind for you. I don't tell you to just not go buy anything unless it's the Crosman Vantage Plus. I'm sorry for all the hate on that one, but it is what it is. But this one here, if you're interested in it, it's solid shooter. It does what it's supposed to do. It doesn't do what it's advertised. Price point wise, there's other options. Do your research on that. I appreciate you staying around to the end. I hope you'll go check out my TikTok and Instagram. My TikTok should have new content coming soon. Guys, I want to thank y'all for watching, and we'll catch you next time.